The film opens with a character stepping into a building teeming with gangsters, where a fierce battle ensues. Armed first with a gun and then wielding two long daggers, the chaos unfolds through the building's corridors, escalating as the fight moves upstairs and crashes through windows into additional rooms filled with more adversaries. As the struggle intensifies, we learn through a reflective surface that the fighter is a woman named Suk-hee. She single-handedly takes down all her opponents, ultimately defeating the leader with a rope. Just as Suk-hee is about to make her escape after the carnage, the police arrive and encircle her, leading to her arrest. However, after reviewing footage of her impressive combat skills, they decide against jail time and instead enroll her in an intelligence training program, even going so far as to give her a new identity through plastic surgery. One day, while having a meal, she seizes an opportunity to escape when they release anesthetic gas. Holding her breath, she pretends to be unconscious before launching a surprise attack. In her frantic bid for freedom, she finds herself in a labyrinthine building. She first stumbles into a ballet studio, then into a kitchen where a cooking class is in session, drawing laughter from the participants. Using one of the kitchen staff as a hostage, she makes her way into a theater room and eventually into a makeup area, where a woman appears to offer her assistance. This woman points her toward an exit, but, as she jumps to escape, Suk-hee discovers that she has been shot. The woman is actually the head of the intelligence agency. Meanwhile, agents monitor Suk-hee's actions via CCTV, with one agent particularly impressed by her strength and fighting prowess. They inform her that her death was faked and propose that she work for them, but Suk-hee firmly declines, insisting they should have killed her instead. However, when the agency head reveals that she is pregnant and offers her freedom in exchange for 10 years of service, Suk-hee reluctantly agrees for the sake of her child. Suk-hee dedicated herself to various skills, including cooking and makeup, to better fit into society. After attending a play that inspired her, she discovered her passion for acting and decided to pursue it as a career. A few months later, she welcomed her child into the world and chose to raise them in that environment while continuing her training. As she progressed, the agents began to appreciate her more. During her training, one of the trainees boldly challenged her to a fight. Suk-hee chose to ignore the provocation, but when the trainee attempted to strike her from behind, Suk-hee anticipated the move and effortlessly subdued her. Later, while undergoing a tattoo removal procedure, she was transported back in time to when her first trainer, and the father of her child, Jung Sang, had given her that tattoo years ago. In a subsequent pistol assembly challenge, Suk-hee excelled, drawing on her teenage experiences to quickly assemble the weapon and hit her target, all while the agents observed and placed bets on the outcome. Meanwhile, one agent searching for his wallet stumbled upon Hyun-soo's notebook, which contained detailed notes about Suk-hee, including her interests. Although it was clear to the agents that Hyun-soo had feelings for her, he insisted that he was merely studying her personality to keep an eye on her once she was released. The head of the agency assigned Suk-hee her very first mission, promising her freedom if she succeeded. Arriving at a house on a motorbike, she found the target, a samurai, already aware of her presence, ready to defend himself with his sword. A fierce battle ensued, both equally matched in skill, but Suk-hee ultimately prevailed, taking his life. In that moment, she noticed his daughter watching, triggering a painful memory of her own father hiding her under the bed while two men came to kill him. After the samurai's men discovered their leader was dead, they pursued Suk-hee, intent on revenge. Just as they closed in, two police cars intervened, allowing her to escape by jumping into the river. With her first mission as an intelligence agent successfully completed, Suk-hee prepared to leave with her daughter. The agency head had arranged everything for their new life, and Suk-hee assumed a new identity in a different home. While in the elevator, she encountered Hyun-soo, who appeared to be monitoring her, though she didn't recognize him. He introduced himself as her neighbor, sharing that his wife had passed away 3 years prior. When Suk-hee ordered pizza, it was Hyun-soo who delivered it, raising her suspicions. She contacted her leader for a background check on him. As they spent more time together, their bond deepened, and Suki found herself developing feelings for him. After attending a play together, they went on a date, where Hyunsu wore a black tie reminiscent of the one Jung Sang had worn on their wedding day. Suki eventually marries her mentor, but tragedy strikes during their honeymoon when he is killed. Shortly after, she receives a call from her best friend, who is in need of assistance for her first mission, retrieving data from a gangster's phone. Suki successfully steals the phone and heads to the bathroom to download the information. However, when she exits, she is horrified to find a man holding a knife to her friend's neck. A struggle ensues, but her friend is overpowered and fatally stabbed. Suki pleads desperately for her friend to be taken to the hospital, but tragically, she dies. That evening, overwhelmed with grief, Suki steps into the shower fully clothed. Hyunsu checks on her, offering comfort as she cries. As time passes, Suki and Hyunsu decide to marry. Just before their wedding reception, she receives another mission, to eliminate a target using a sniper from the bathroom. As she prepares to take the shot, she is stunned to discover that the target is her ex-husband, who she believed had died long ago. Failing the mission, she returns to her wedding ceremony, and as she walks down the aisle, memories flood back of the day Jung Sang was killed, including the information his henchmen provided about the gang responsible for his death. It dawns on her that she had avenged his death in the very same location where it all began. During his investigation, Jung Song discovers that the location from which the sniper might have been targeting was hosting a wedding reception for someone who resembled his ex-wife. To confirm his suspicions, he decides to attend Suki's play. It becomes evident that he recognizes her. Later, Suki and Hyunsu share dinner after the performance. While Hyunsu steps away to the bathroom, Jung Sang approaches Suki's table, claiming to be her devoted fan before quickly leaving. They both continue to act as if they don't know each other. Meanwhile, one of Jung Sang's associates secretly records the conversation between Hyunsu and his boss, revealing that Suki's marriage is merely part of Hyunsu's mission. On another front, the leader learns about Suki's encounter with Jung Song and grows suspicious of their relationship. Suki insists there's nothing between them, attributing it all to coincidence. A few days later, Suki receives a bouquet from Jung Song, which contains a flash drive and his phone number. The flash drive reveals the recording of Hyunsu's conversation with the leader, leaving Suki feeling heartbroken and betrayed. She sends a warning message to Jung Song, alerting him that someone is coming to kill him. The assassin finds Jung Sang's henchmen waiting and attack them. They suspect Suki has leaked their plans and confront her, but just then, a group of gangsters, led by Jung Sang and his men, intervenes to rescue her. She makes her way back to her apartment to retrieve her daughter, but upon arrival, an explosion occurs. In the chaos, she sees Hyunsu holding her daughter tightly as the blast propels him over the balcony, landing right in front of her on the street. Her daughter appears to be unconscious, and with his final breath, Hyunsu attempts to reveal the identity of those responsible, but he succumbs to his injuries. Suki begins to suspect that the mastermind behind her daughter's plight is the head of a criminal organization, who then tries to eliminate her. However, she is shown a CCTV recording that reveals Hyunsu and her daughter had arrived at the apartment, where Jungsun's men were already lying in wait. One of them informs Hyunsu that Suki was meant to be dead after she had taken down a gang, and that Jungsun's death was merely a ruse to eliminate her, with the intention of killing her daughter, who was never meant to exist. They even propose to Hyunsu that he should kill the baby, but he refuses and fights to save her daughter, revealing his deep love for both Suki and her child. Fueled by rage, Suki storms into Jungsun's headquarters, crashing through the building with her car. In a fit of fury, she methodically takes down his men one by one until she confronts Jung Sang. Her first question is whether he ever loved her. Jung Sang admits that he once did, but after killing her father, he could no longer love her. Suki is devastated to learn that the man she loved is actually her father's murderer. A fierce battle ensues between them, but Jung Sang's men warn him that the police are on their way, prompting him to flee. They escape onto a bus, but Suki pursues them, engaging in a brutal fight with Jung Sang and his men. The struggle intensifies, and when Jung Sang stabs her in the shoulder, she retaliates by cutting the bus driver's arm, causing the bus to flip over, leaving Jung Sang injured. Sookie stands on the brink of taking his life, her axe poised but her heart heavy with doubt. The man before her was once someone she cherished, making the act of killing him feel almost unbearable. Yet, the haunting whistle that echoes in her mind, the same sound that marked the night her father was murdered, pushes her over the edge. In a moment of rage, she strikes down Jung Sung without hesitation. As the sirens wail in the distance, the film concludes with Sookie wearing a chilling smile, a mix of triumph and sorrow etched on her face.